Scott Hassan asks, is it Hassan or Hasten?
I think it's Hasten.
When shit hit he's just moved. Did they move or just his mom?
I don't think they've moved yet.
I thought they're moving to Nashville. She bought a place in Nashville, right?
I believe so. I don't think that they've moved yet.
So when shit hits the fan, would you consider using the front of the SOE for a trading post?
No.
Your Sally port would be excellent to inspect detained traders before entering. No, because I don't want
people here.
I don't want them here. We would set up a maybe across the street in that lot over there. Maybe
that's still too close.
Up the road a little ways where they've leveled the hotel. That would be a good place for it. I always kind of pictured Court Square. Like in my head, I picture, you know, during the Depression, people ate all the horses and mules and they used big dogs for carts, with carts and shit. That's kind of what I picture. But no, not here. Vince Vega, what's up, Vince? When you first got the building, you were going through the tours and build-out process. Can you give us a video tour of the upstairs? If I recall, you were building a kick-ass office with an even cooler kick-ass shower. I don't remember seeing how that turned out. So, no. We actually took that whole end of the building, and it's still her office and my office, and that giant closet and that bathroom. That's the apartment. The apartment is
big.
I'll bet it's 1,200 square feet. I'll bet it's bigger than that.
Yeah, at least. It's bigger than my apartment.
So on that end, her office, my office is bigger, and it's still kind of office. And then we made her office a bedroom. It's bigger than any bedroom we've ever had. And then the shower and the bathroom's right there. And then that walk-in closet area.
I want to say it's like
16 by 16,
That's what
I think.
I have in my head, yeah.
So that's that. When you go out, those two 10 by 30 offices are there where you saw tattoo. That was a full-blown tattoo studio, and then the reptiles. Those are all storage now. And we could always move all that shit out, compress it, and put people in there if we needed to. And then the rest of it's just a giant fucking living room where you see kind of the oddities and stuff. And then that piece on the end is 12 feet by 50 feet, I think, maybe 40 feet, because we got the catwalks behind there. And that's that whole cardio area. And I thought I was going to do the whole garage in race deck flooring. Thank God we did race deck flooring in the cardio area. It's fucking dirty.
And it's
loud. It fucking scratches. It is not what you think it is.
It reflects sound instead of absorbing it.
Yeah, so that's all the cardio shit there. Kevin Banky. I have a question about stored drinking water. I have about 40 gallons of tap water treated with water stabilizer drops stored. How often should I rotate my stock? You're probably going to get a different answer if you... I would Google that question, really, and see what the general consensus is, and then I'd also type it into YouTube. I don't translate. I don't transfer my water. I am not fucking worried about drinking sterile water. I'm not worried about drinking water out of a container that's got algae in it. I do it all the time, as a matter of fact. As a kid, we would drink water out of fucking ponds and puddles out in the canyons. We would be riding through areas and come literally into a complete different town where they have built lots and shit and have sprinkler systems set up, but abandoned the builds. We would pull the caps off of the fucking sprinkler and suck until water came out.
That's what I was just going to say. When we were doing our BMX stuff, we didn't carry water with us. We would take the head off of a sprinkler and it would just start shooting out. Yeah. And that was our water.
So we used to drink out of garden hoses. Now they have, like, if you go to the grocery store, if you go to the store, Home Depot, you go to Tractor Supply, even the grocery store probably, where there's a little garden section, they will have safe drinking hoses. Safe from fucking what? I literally would love to see everybody just be like, we're not shipping, fuck California, we're not doing your cancer bullshit, your labeling and all your bull, we're just not shipping to California. Fuck them. Turn them off. Let them fucking be their own place. And that's how I feel about the water storage, right? I would right now go over where my fish are in my aquaponics system and drink a fucking cup of water out of the aquaponics system. I don't give a shit. Now, if it's coming out of your hose, it's already chlorinated. I have never treated any water that came out of city water with anything else.
Because it's already chlorinated.
If you're really worried about it, put a couple drops of bleach. What do they say? A teaspoon of bleach for 500 gallons? Maybe it's 55, right? You're never going to, if you put too much bleach in there, it's just going to have too much bleach. You can always aerate it. Now, there are chemicals right now that they are putting in municipal water systems When you move them back and forth like that to aerate them, they do not off-gas, so the shit stays in the water. You need to probably look, like in an emergency, I don't care. But for drinking every day, we put everything through a Berkey water filter or this essential water. There's a couple. I'll drink square bottle Fiji water. Fiji water is one of the 3 that did not have fluoride in it when they test it. For $800, you can buy this thing you put in that will actually test whether your water has fluoride. It'll tell you chlorine, bromine. It'll tell you all the shit in your water.
That's funny you mentioned Fiji because my dad is a water treatment operator, or was. He's retired now. And he would always talk shit about people drinking bottled water because, at one point we didn't have bottled water.
Most bottled water came out of fucking municipal water systems.
Yeah, you look on it on the back and it says like it came from wherever.
Florida municipal
exactly,
usually.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, but you know what? Fiji water just tastes so much better. And he looked into it and he's like, okay, that water is different water and it is good.
There was 3 of them that were true water. So I wouldn't worry about it, man. Especially if it's a sealed container, right? If you're putting chlorine in there, if you're putting chlorinated water, city municipal water, and you have a lid, it's not going to off-gas. I have 55-gallon drums out here right now, clear 55-gallon drums. There's probably 20 of them right on the back side of the building, full sunlight. The ones with the lids on them have 0 algae growth in them. The ones where the lids, the sun has actually broken the lid a little bit from being there. So it has air now. When it's hot, the water actually swells up and sits on top. And then as it cools, it goes back down a little bit, like an inch of headspace. There's no algae growing in those either. It's just fucking water, man. Could a bird take a shit in there? I guess. I guess something could get in there. It's going to settle to the bottom. Is it part per millionth enough that it'll make you sick? I'm not concerned with it, man. I'm really not. Just, and if you need to, man, and if it makes you feel better, dump that water out. Put it on the lawn, right? Put it in the garden. Use it and fill it back up. No problem. James Barden. Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm sitting on 5 pastured acres that I can immediately dedicate to start a homestead. 1 acre of that is dedicated to a barn dominium and external warehouse being built. I have plenty of wooded acreage with a large creek running through it. What would the first steps be to a homestead on the property? I mean, we kind of, like, we had a building here, right? So we could pull things in and out. We had the animals here long before we were here. We had the property and everything was here long before we even lived on the property. Before the building was even finished, we had animals here. For homestead, what does that look like to you, right? So you want to grow a garden? No problem. You want animals? No problem. You just need to be honest with yourself. Are you going to wake up in the morning before you live there and be like, man, I don't want to go there today? If that's the answer, then have fewer animals. I would always and I wouldn't get like rabbits and chickens and goats and whatever. I'd get 1, man. Just get 1 to start with. And you need fencing. Everything starts with fencing. So many people develop these properties and get all this stuff, and then it's a constant battle. Something's killing my thing, or I have to get this this wire system and this shock system and all this shit. If you just put up fucking fences, and you don't have to do all 5 acres. We put up the 10 by 10 dog runs, and then we put in T-posts and wire panels, and we put our chickens there, and things were eating the chickens, right? We didn't have any fence. We had a dozen goats here probably with no fucking fences. The sheriff would be like, hey, John, the goats are on the side of the hill. I'm like, are they in the road? He's like, no. I go, then I'm not too concerned with it. Have they ever left the property? No, but people are worried about it. I go, okay. He's like, I already ran them back in. I just want you to know your goats are on the cliff. Okay.
Thanks.
You know what's funny is in hip Camden, every once in a while they'll say, goats running down birdsong. And I know which goats those are, too.
Whose are they?
The from the range. There's goats on the range.
There's only 3 of them, though.
They always get out, but then they come back.
Oh, maybe that is them. Maybe that is theirs. Yeah. So people are complaining all the fucking time.
They'll complain about anything.
So fences. You can build fencing, and what we did is the first thing we actually fenced was the couple acres up front, right? So we have a fence around the whole thing, and then inside that fence we have pins, and the pins are, let's say, 50 by 100, right? That's where this group of chickens lives. And then 50 by 100, that's where these goats live. And then 50 by 100, but the dogs can get behind those pens. There's a 10-foot, 12-foot corridor from the fence to the pen. So a raccoon can't reach through. It can't do anything. It has to come through that 12-foot corridor. The dogs can fully encircle those, man. So a couple dogs, you can set up your chickens to where you have bulk feeders, where you don't have to feed them but every few days or every 5 days. You could do the same thing with your dog. Free feed the dogs, looking free feeding. I would just get out, man. I'll even come out there and look at the place if you want. I'll come out there and walk it with you.
I was going to say
we'll put a drone up so you can.
A site survey would be very helpful.
A site survey before you do any major construction. A site survey would be the biggest thing, right? You could get Nick Ferguson. We could probably get Billy Bond. There's a few dudes that can do it from Google Earth and really kind of get a look at things, right?
Does
and
he already have that? Is he already purchased that land, or is he looking?
Says I'm sitting on 5 pasture.
I think
acres.
I think he got it from the family or something.
I was going to say a site survey isn't a bad idea before you buy.
We know, James. I'm assuming this is probably over in Dixon. And then the other thing too, like when we go out there in the summer, and we're like, sun's here, put this here, right? That's not the same in the winter.
Yeah.
It moves, right? And then with these apps, it's a free app, man, and you can check your solar aspect ratio and know what's what. And these trees are in the way, these trees aren't, right? Before we start developing things. Now, we bought this property, there was not much on it, right? And the building was here, so the building is where the building is. Would I have moved the building? I don't think I would. I would probably like to have the building further out so that there's more. But I don't mind having back property, front property around. I like having the building. Actually, I think I like the way the building is, because the building is in the kind of the middle, and we have a fence around that, right? I can put bite dogs here, and then they can run around the building, and still we have that other buffer. We use the front of the property way more than we use the back of the property. Like I have a lot more property in the back than the front, and we don't have any animals out there. Not livestock animals. I mean, we need to, but we just haven't. That's more work. I go to all to one place, and I go from station to station to station, and I can take care of every animal on the property in 17 minutes. If they're in the back, that changes, that amplifies that quite a bit.
It's weird because I was thinking about that today with the Starlink. Does that have to be facing a specific direction?
So it doesn't, but as soon as you get it, you download an app on your phone, and it tells you point it up in the sky, and it checks your visibility. So if you have trees or a building in the way, it reduces your link, basically.
Doesn't it actually move?
It will move. It does track the satellites in the sky.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to mount it to a pole, so it will be even better and not be in the parking lot.
But we're going to mount it to a pole on the building, right?
Cody and I looked at the outside pole on the aquaponics cover thing. So,
but on the building, just
up out of the way.
On my way here today, I was thinking about how great where the building is, because since it's in a clearing, you have view of every part of the sky. You know, like every direction.
Yeah, so you got 360.
Yeah. And it's weird that that just came up. Like
middle of the parking lot would be best. Then you'd have to bury the cable. It needs to be 70. The cable's 75 feet. Mm-hmm. You have 7. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's 75.
You have 75 feet.
From where you plug in the receiver to the actual.
So what we'll probably do is take some band straps, put a pole that sticks up 3 feet above the aquaponics patio cover, and just put it there. Because it'll track the satellites.
Yeah.
Amy Lynn Jones. John, when will you add the next level of your membership group? And what will the perks be? We don't know. That's why we haven't done it. Like I don't know that we can add enough value for the next level. And will that value be greater enough for people to join it, right? It has to stand alone. What I think will probably happen is we will just get rid of the level 1 membership, and level 2 will become the level 1, and we will add something much beyond that, and it'll probably be a $20 level is probably what we're going to do. Ryan Ray, this is my first SRF. What advice do you give to get the most out of the weekend? We did this a couple of weeks ago. I think we answered this question. Be present, right? Be there in the moment, right? You are there. You have traveled. You have changed your life to come here. Be involved in what is happening here. Not on this.
Introduce yourself.
Don't worry shit about what's happening on this unless you're making posts about what happened here. You'll get a different experience. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, just as we've told other people. Introduce yourself.
Talk to people.
And talk to people, man. If I don't know you in person, I don't think. A lot of times we communicate really well over these on social media, but in real life, dudes are fucking weirdos. They just sit in the corner, right? You're gonna get nothing if you do not walk up to a crowd and just stand there.
Yep.
Just listen, burglarize the conversation. If I'm having a conversation that you can't be a part of, it won't be happening where you can fucking be a part of it. So just be there, man. I talk to people the entire time I am here. While there's a lecture going on here, there's a lecture going on in the garage, there's a lecture going on in the circus tent. I've got 20 people with me, and somebody will ask me, hey, what do you think of whatever? I'm like, walk with me, and we'll walk. And people will literally leave these other crowds to come and do what we're doing. Find those guys. Those guys are having the conversation. Obviously 20 other people, it's fucking important enough for them to stop and be part of it. Those are probably the conversations. I'm not saying chase me around. Find those conversations. Talk to everybody. Hey, I'm from wherever Ryan Ray is from. Anybody here from there? They'll announce it on a fucking speaker. You will meet people fucking 10 minutes from where you live almost always at one of these things. Find the shit you like to do and fucking go do that. Fucking just jump in there, man. Listen to the conversations and add value. Any place you can add value, add value. If you're just saying some shit to say that somebody already said, keep your fucking mouth shut. All you're doing is keeping some better shit from happening. Add value, though. If somebody's like, hey, I really like drinking out of this cup, we don't give a shit that you like drinking out of a cup. You don't need to say it. Just add fucking value. Ryan Ray, Cody Atherley, do you recommend investing in a pressure canner or we just did this one somewhere?
It was different.
Do you recommend investing in a pressure canner or dehydrator first? Ultimately, I want to have both and eventually a Harvest Right freeze dryer. Okay, so pressure
which
canner
one first
or dehydrator. I'd say get the dehydrator first because it's a lot less work to do your shit. You don't have to sit there and process it. You don't have to clean the fat and shit off after you've cooked meat. You can use things. It's not going to last as long, but with that said on the dehydrator, you can get the dehydrator for $250 to $350. Excalibur is the best dehydrator you can get until you jump up to thousands of dollars. I've given several for gifts. I own one. The one we currently use, we have used for over 15 years, and we were running it literally 24 hours a day. Sometimes I would forget to pull the load out and just leave it in the motherfucker running for an entire week.
Yep.
All that happens is the shit gets drier.
And then you'd be like, why is it so hot over here?
And they say, so, okay, the dehydrated food only lasts for a couple of years. I have food in jars right now that's been in there for 15 years. There's no mold growing on it. Do you want to take it and eat it? You could, maybe not. Like if you eat dehydrated corn, it sticks in your teeth. But if you put it in soups, it turns into fucking corn. And that's a lot of times how you're going to use dehydrated vegetables and stuff like that. You can't take certain vegetables and dehydrate them. They have to be parboiled. So a lot of times it's easier to get frozen food, frozen vegetables in a bag because they're already parboiled and they will reconstitute. You can dehydrate a lot of this stuff that hasn't been parboiled, but it will never reconstitute the same. But the Excalibur is something that it takes no skill. The pressure canner really takes no skill either. Nowadays, pressure canner, what does pressure canner mean to you, right? All American is the gold standard. It's hundreds of dollars, $600 for the big one we have, and you do it over fire or over some heat deal, right? The electric Presto pressure canner is under $300, maybe $380. Does everything for you. Set it and forget it. It's not like you like, I want a pressure can, and mom's like, oh no, your grandmother had one blow up and it shot through that doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't fucking happen like that. The rules and the regulations, the safety, because fucking people are stupid. If you look at a ball canning blue book for pressure canning, the parameters have changed. Shit that grandma did, they'll tell you will kill you now. If you get in these pressure canning groups, when you're ready, we will put you in these pressure canning groups on Facebook. Wealth of knowledge. A lot of little ninnies telling you that you're going to kill yourself too, though. Everybody wants to fucking police everyone else, and there's not a need for it, man.
So what I was going to say is I would do the dehydrator first because it is going to allow you to start building a pantry considerably faster than the canner, because you have to have the canner plus all the jars, the lifters, all that stuff. And really, a dehydrator is going to get you off and running much faster than a canner. Do the dehydrator, go to the grocery store, buy the frozen veggies and the frozen fruit, throw it on the trays, turn it on, and when they're done, stick them in a container and close it up, and you're already started.
Get some O2 absorbers.
Yes. And that.
I have a lot of jars that are 15 years old that we've never put O2 absorbers in.
That we've been in and out of because it's fruit.
We use. And no matter which one you buy, use my link on Amazon, please. We get a little percentage, plus you'll get the one that we have. So the Excalibur, and if you find one local somewhere at a farm store, fucking buy that motherfucker. They have one with a timer. They have one without a timer. I think you pay $100 more to get the timer. Ours doesn't have a timer. We don't fucking care. I'm not worried about it. I think I would probably buy the clear window for the front, because a lot of times I open it. I think I probably still would anyways, but they do make a clear window for the front. The Presto pressure canner is so simple. We have two of them when we run them at the same time on the same outlet in the kitchen.
Yep.
So it's not drawing that much juice. Charlie Juliet Sierra. Do you have any out the front knives that are actually reliable enough to carry for every day? No, I have a lot of them too. Microtech makes the best out the front. I don't know if anybody even, I'm sure other people make an out the front knife. John Wick, all those knives, those are Microtech out the front knives. They do some really cool stuff. They especially do some cool shit at Blade Show. They do the Sith Lord, which is black with red. They do a Yoda one. They do a battle damaged Yoda one. They do a lot of these, right? We buy 20 of them. Every time we went to Blade Show, we'd buy 20 knives to give to the people that worked at the booth with us. I gave one to Butters, Cody's brother, Alex. He had out the front. It is still sitting in my desk drawer. After he used it for about 6 weeks, cutting tape, just slicing tape, it got the tape goo on there, and now it's gummed up. You have to send it back in. They derail all the time. They have a safety in them, right? You're supposed to be able to shoot it into your leg and have it not inject into your leg because it has this derail thing.
Guess what, though?
Well, Tyler did that at fucking Ruth Chris Steakhouse, shot his leg, and bled all over the fucking...
A lot.
It cut enough that it bled, right? It probably needed a suture or two. But they're always, when you carry them all the time, because of the mechanism with it coming in and out, and it's got this pull, this retract thing, that some of them, you spring and it shoots out, and then you pull it and it detracts on its own. Some of them, which are probably the more rugged ones, the original ones, and they do make a big fucking one like this.
I saw one that's like this wide.
They make some small ones, yeah. But the big giant one.
Yeah.
Some of them actually have like a little M16 charging bolt, charging rod, and it retracts it. So that's probably more durable. I would tell you, if you want one, buddy, just buy you one. Don't carry it as the end of the world knife. This knife I carry, I cut tape with it the other day. I cut raw meat up there. I had some chunks of beef, and I realized it was probably too big for the dogs because they would swallow it. And all that means is they're eventually going to shit it out, but they're not going to get the nutrients. So I took raw meat, cut it up with this, didn't even wipe it off because I didn't want it on my pants, put it back in my pocket. I cut all kinds of shit with this. There is no mechanism to fail on this. It is a liner lock. And the liner lock on this knife is super beefy. It's not just a fucking piece of wire or thin sheet metal. It is fucking beefy, right? It's a 1/4 inch thick liner lock right here. I really like having a flipper, right? Because I can flip it out one-handed. I used to take Striders and flip them open all the time. And now with carpal tunnel and fucking shit all over my hands and all kinds of stuff, I feel like every time I throw a knife that I have to flip open, I feel like it's going to lose my... Well, I have thrown it. I mean, I've had a knife open and hit her. So, if you want an out-the-front knife, get one, man. Get one. Do you have a nice watch and do you have a watch that you don't wear all the time because you might tear it up? That's how I look at those out the front knives. I'm not going to carry it all the time. Do you work in an office? Carrying out the front knife. Do you work someplace where you're going to use a knife for shit you don't use a knife for? Don't use the out the front. They're pretty brittle, man. They're not meant to do what these do.
I have a question about the flipper. So, after our conversation last week about knives, I was telling Annie about it, and she wanted me to give her some examples of $200 to $500 knives because clearly she's looking for a present for me or something. And I was thinking about like a zero tolerance, something like that, but they all have flippers, and to me it seems like it just get caught getting in and out. It's fine. It doesn't have an issue.
No, and a lot of knives too. You can change the clip.
Mm-hmm. So it goes the other way.
So it's on another side.
Yeah.
So, but no, this doesn't get in the way, and that's down, right? That's my down right there, right? So
yeah.
my thumb goes right here. I pull this out. Now, there's some flipping of the wrist, but I can't really get it to just lock on its own.
Yeah.
But I can, with a little bit of movement, momentum will lock it into place.
Yeah, I have it's a $30 knife, so I don't have a flipper on it, and I can flip it open, so that's not an issue. It's just,
so typically a $30 knife. I had an Emerson of some. It wasn't. It's a Benchmade, right?
Yeah.
It's an Elishewitz Benchmade or an Emerson Benchmade something. We're at a cabin, and I'm chopping some firewood, and with those knives, that liner lock can pass through, right? It's not a robust.
It's not. Yeah, it's not as.
It
thick
is
as
not
that,
this.
for sure.
This here, I can literally fucking chop and chop and chop, and it's never coming undone. With those other knives, I had a piece of wood behind it, and it fucking actually bent past that liner lock.
So yeah, like in that case, it wasn't that big of a deal because your hand was clear. But that's why I have a $30 knife, because if it breaks, I'll just throw it away and get a new one,
Yeah.
But I'm looking into something new, and she wants me to get something, so that was the first question that came to mind,
Dude, just get a Strider.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always liked them.
I see so pre-owned.
Uh-huh.
They change hands all the time.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them come up in the last few days where I was like, oh, I'll buy that, right? Like $450.
Uh-huh.
I would buy it just to fucking have it, right?
Yeah.
I carry a Strider.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way Striders look. I bought a fake Strider at a gun show before I knew what Strider was, just because I was like, this is a really cool looking knife.
Did you know it was fake?
No, I didn't know that Strider was a thing. I was like, this is a really cool looking knife, and it was like $10.
So it looked like a Strider.
It says Strider on
really?
it. I have it still. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll bring it in next time. It says Strider,
Holy
but
shit.
it was $10, so it's clearly not a real Strider.
Yeah.
Or they didn't know what they had.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring it to you guys. You guys tell me, but it doesn't feel like it's quality.
I've seen some, and I'm like, Josh, is this real? And he's like, nope.
Yeah. Like
or Jeff knows too. He's like, here's why it's not.
Once I found out about Strider, I was surprised that they had counterfeits, because I mean they're very expensive, so you're always gonna have a counterfeit. But it seems like unless you know about them, you don't know. So why would there be something?
And I don't know what the price is like. And I get it. People are like, what are you talking about, John? That's how you do things. If I go to an Instagram page and I see a knife and I can't just fucking within 2-3 clicks buy it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't need to know about a new company. I don't need to know some new hype. I get it. I get it. But if like Dauntless Manufacturing has some neat looking knives.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Dan, what's Dan? DSK.
I've seen them.
Dan is super fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
His knives are fucking a beast. His shit's awesome. Dan from DSK. Check him out. Fucking really cool dude.
Yeah.
There's somebody else that makes really big knives too. I can't think of the name.
I'm sure it's not DSK.
Well, I follow a place. It's like a
Casey Bradshaw.
It's a shop. They don't make their own, but they sell everybody else's. It's like Monkey something.
Monkey
Works.
Monkey Works. Yeah.
Is it Monkey Works? Or
yeah.
Monkey? Yeah.
Monkey.
So every time they post a new knife, I'm like,
it's Monkey Edge.
Cool Monkey Edge. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's Brady.
Yeah.
We're friends with the dude that owns it. He's got a lot of our photos in his stuff.
Every knife that they're gonna sell is really cool, but then you click on them and they're not available. Yeah.
He's one of the few Strider dealers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like their page. Like they post cool shit.
Check out Blue Line Gear.
Mm-hmm.
They sell Strider.
I think I might.
Arizona Knife Works. They take Strider and sell it for twice the price, and people squeal about it. But if you want something that nobody has, they have it.
I never get complaining about the price. Then don't buy it. You know.
Stop being poor.
When people complain about something we do, I'm like, what did we do that you do like?
Yeah.
That's like what. Okay, Strider. So what do you like then? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you're buying. You're $100 knife guy. Then we don't need to have. I don't need to explain it to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't come into my world. I won't come into your world. Because everything we make gets sold. Mm-hmm. I don't care who buys it. Everything Strider makes gets sold. Mm-hmm. You can't go to Strider right now and buy a fucking knife. Yeah. I know for a fact you can't, because I know when Marissa puts the post out, hey, tonight we're going to drop this.
See, I've seen those posts because I follow her, and I'm ready to go check it out, and they're always still gone. As soon as like I see the link or whatever and I click on it, they're always still gone because there's people there that want it more than I do. So they're like,
and let me tell you a secret. All these companies, Strider, Rolex, Porsche, any of them, when you go in there as a first-time customer and they're sold out for you. They're not sold out for the dude who buys every single drop they make, right? They're not sold out for their $100,000 customers. If you know somebody, right? If they know who you are, you can go, hey, I need this thing. They might not have exactly the one you want, but they have some shit. It just fucking depends who you are. Mm-hmm. And if that ass hurts you, you're never going to be that person. You just don't understand it, and that's okay. Us, typically, if what's on our website is not there, we really don't have it. But I do have stuff sitting around, and some of it just fucking depends who you are. Some of it means I'm going to take my personal one and I'm going to sell it to you. Mm-hmm. And then the dude who, usually when a guy complains or kind of seems like he's complaining, I always look at his account. It's never a dude with fucking 20 orders. It's always a dude with 2 orders. A dude had a belt. We were out of Cobra buckles. We just got more Cobra buckles in, 1-inch buckles. We're going to knock out 400 more belts right away. And this dude is like, I've ordered multiple times. He sends Amanda the email. I've ordered multiple times from you. This is bullshit. I don't want any fucking excuses. This is un-American. I just want to know where my belt is. I looked up his account multiple times. All these multiple times. He ordered one other time. It was a round duffel bag. When I put his email address into email, it was the same shit with the round duffel bag. Where's my order? Whatever. Mm-hmm. This guy, this belt order is maybe 6 weeks old, right? Had he emailed, I would have said, hey, we're waiting on buckles, but I can build you an EDC belt and ship it tomorrow. I don't have any other emails from him. I literally have him being shitty to Amanda. And then there is one more email. We didn't get our order. Where is our belt? It's a 48-inch belt. It's a 48-inch. No, it's a 1.5-inch. I still can't build it. It's a 1.5-inch Cobra, 48 inches. So now I have a female emailing me. That was yesterday. He emailed Amanda today or yesterday. So 2 emails within the same day. I just refunded his order. I haven't said shit to him. I'm not even going to reply to him. Mm-hmm. Dude did that. I had a similar thing yesterday. I don't remember what it was. Canceled and refunded his order. He's like, oh, you think you're a big tough guy with your cum catch. So you obviously know that I have a goatee. Yeah. And now you want to talk shit. And he's like, you're just ass hurt because Donald didn't make it as president. What the fuck? Does Trump have anything to do with my business? Uh-huh. If you hate, like, what?
I see
like,
that a
what?
lot. Yeah.
What? I just don't fucking understand it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't fucking care, man. I just don't care.
I think, like, so...
I'm going to walk in this building. We've been out here for probably an hour, maybe 90 minutes right now. I'm going to walk in that building right now, and I'm going to hit refresh on my account, on my Shopify account, mm-hmm. and I'm going to literally have made 10, 15, 20 times more in this last hour than whatever his fucking order was that I refunded.
Yeah.
All right. Hope you guys got your... I hope this was worth it to you. I hope you got something from this. I hope we helped you in some manner or entertained you. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to try. My family has so we got the tools to survive. Yeah.